Today we have
Rachel Glass.
and she's going to be talking about cultivating trust and resilience in leadership.
That's what she does.
Yeah, she does.
I think we were
Rachel.
just out of people to assign this one to, so we gave it to you.
Yeah, we're like Rachel.
I'm
Hey,
the dregs. That's
so
okay.
Rach, will you just tell everybody what your role is here at the ESC and how long you've been with the ESC? And
She doesn't have
Just-
notes for that one.
I know,
I
here we are
don't.
off the cuff.
Wait till we ask
Like,
her the next question.
"Ooh."
Oh my God. You can bleep out bad words. Right?
Yeah, we can make it
Maybe.
work.
We could try.
Maybe. Okay. Yeah, I started at the ESC in 2001. I believe it was 2001. As a case manager, I was going to University of Dayton to become a school psychologist and stayed with the ESC and left in 2012. Missed it so much. Came back in 2015.
Now wait, when you left, where'd you go?
Greenville City.
Okay, so you were still working in a school district.
Yes.
As a school psych?
As a school psych and kind of helped coordinate special ed services and
Got it.
RTI or MTSS services. And then came back in 2015 and have stayed and have no plans to leave. Lucky
Good.
for you.
Woohoo!
Blessed.
We are so
Hashtag
happy to hear
blessed.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you
I
so
don't know what
much.
we would do without Rachel.
that. I know. And
Lightning is going to strike you. Yeah, it will.
so, Rachel, I know that you have prepared for questions, but there is going to be a question that you have not seen. Now, this is very easy answer. It's just so people get to know you a little bit. So we're going to start with that, okay?
Okay.
For the queen of caffeine,
Oh, yes. She can have caffeine all hours of the day.
she can.
True.
I was trying to think of other alliterations. These are not going to come out in order, but I don't know if you're going to see Stacey's before or after this.
I think Stacey's is before this.
But I just said I went to speech for multiple years for my R's.
I love how we just found this out today.
And sometimes when I get excited or I start talking too fast, it'll happen. Like,
She gets really excited.
And Stacey was like, I've never heard you do that. And I just said I can't even do it on accident. Alliteration.
Do we need to put the Porky Pig?
Oh, I stuttered in Beth's.
And just so you know, when that one comes out, my kids have listened to it. I don't even know how many times. There's a whole story behind it, but we will show it to you because it makes me laugh so.
I got so excited. I do. I have some speech problems when I get excited. It's not my fault. It's my brain, the neural connections, neural pathways in my brain. It's fine. Everybody has to have a flaw. That's my single flaw.
That is true.
Okay.
That is correct.
I'm beautiful, smart, funny,
Yes.
tall,
I
athletic.
wouldn't call it a flaw. Like,
I mean, come on.
no. It makes you unique.
Anyways, I was trying to come up with more alliteration, like queen of caffeine, sultan of sugary caffeinated drinks, but you don't drink sugary caffeinated drinks. So anyways, Rachel, what is your go-to coffee order?
That would have to be the largest size possible, usually 24 ounce,
Okay.
medium roast with extra heavy cream.
See, we make fun of Rachel all the time because
Yes.
she has the palate of a rich
this
European woman. She'll be like, if you have it bitter, you'll taste it in the crevices of your...
So true.
Where I just scarf
not
stuff in my mouth. I'm like, wait,
So not true.
broccoli has a taste? I didn't know.
Even like the bourbon the one time.
Yeah,
When
you
you
just
ordered
to
the
take a bite
bourbon
of cheese and
and-
drink the bourbon, and then the
and-
flavors explode in your mouth.
Yes.
All right, fine. I would just eat Velveeta and drink McDonald's coffee. From
There's
now
no
on.
problem
Well,
with
so
that.
I was just going to say, so you have a go-to coffee order, but do you have a go-to coffee place? Like, what would be your favorite coffee place to order coffee from?
I have to admit that would be Coffee Pot, Greenville, Ohio.
Okay.
The best. I like Hazelnut a lot too.
Do they have
but-
one coffee shop in Greenville, or is there two?
There's
Or
two.
multiple? What's the
Actually,
other one
there's
called?
multiple. Yeah.
Is that the one that has like a cute little like storefront too? Like you can buy like little. I've been to a coffee shop once in Greenville, but it's been a couple years ago. So I'm wondering if it's the same place. That's why I was asking.
So Coffee Pot, it's just a beautiful place. It's in the Palace building, I think it's called, and it's on the ground floor. There are huge windows. They make excellent coffee. I mean, just the best darn coffee, in my opinion. There is another place. I'm sure it is good also. I'm hooked on Coffee Pot. So
Can I tell you guys something real quick?
Of course.
So when I ran the half marathon in Indy with my best friend, it happened to be, I think I told you guys, I think I was working here. It was like 60-mile-an-hour winds and rain during the whole half. Like
I
literally
remember you
blew my
talking
hat
about
off my
this.
head down the road, like
Yeah.
blew it away.
It's not
Anyways,
good.
what I always look forward to, and you guys can probably relate because you run too, what I always look forward to is a nice hot cup of coffee after doing a long run when it's like uncomfortable outside, like cold, like we were cold too. So we're like, we got to find a coffee shop. We're in Indy. We have no idea where to go. So we just put in the closest one on our GPS. We walk in, and guys, I'm in the hippie Venn diagram somewhere. Like I'm into weird stuff. And we walk into this coffee shop, and it is like the most hipster. So
Oh, is this the
nevertheless,
cat one?
no, I love the
Oh,
cat one in
okay.
Dayton, the cat coffee
Oh, that's
shop.
cat.
Cat cafe, I think is what it's called. So they served, and this was years ago, like multiple years ago, they served us a $14 coffee in a small mason jar. And then we didn't know, like, are we just supposed to walk out with this coffee? Are we just now?
Oh.
It was delicious. But when I had to
$14?
double check, I'm like, is this both of ours? Nope, just mine.
Wow.
I did keep the jar because it was very expensive.
That better be some
Did
good.
it have like the name on the jar? Like
No,
it was
no,
like a
it was
no,
literally just like as if
the
someone bought a pallet of mason
I
jars.
wonder if you bring your own mason jar and can
Do you get
say,
it? Do
"Here
you
you
get
go.
do you
Will
get to
this
pay
give me a
$12 instead of
$10 one?"
14,
Yeah.
right? Anyways, that
Wow.
was but
But it
I
was the
think
best
about it. I
coffee?
think about it all the time. I think about
Like,
and
you're
I
gonna
don't
go back, aren't you? If you're ever
never
back in
again
Indy?
because I
No?
was uncomfortable. It was that where like you don't even know how to order because like you
Oh.
clearly don't go here. Like people are looking at you like, what are these sweaty women doing in our coffee shop? They're supposed to be wearing flannel and you know what I mean? Like we just didn't fit. So, anyways,
Wasn't the right vibe.
I haven't stopped thinking about that coffee in 4
What was the
years.
name of it?
I don't even remember the closest coffee space to downtown Indy.
Now we have to look that up.
Yeah,
I
I'll
know.
look it up. I'll find it.
I feel like there has to be tons of coffee shops in Indy though.
Yeah, but I'll
So
find it.
okay.
Oh, glasses. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm crying.
We just really laughed hard between segments and Emily's getting herself together. So Emily, you get yourself together and I will ask the question.
Thank you.
All right, Rachel, how do you help people feel safe and supported during transitions? You've been with the ESC for a long time, so you've seen transitions take place. You even talked about a transition that you had from the ESC to a district and then back. Like, so can you just talk about that a little bit?
Yep. One thing I think it's important to we tend to support kids a lot with transition, and those strategies still apply to adults. So transition means change. Change typically means stress, and that would mean anxiety provoking, right? So the unknown is the same. So a lot with transitions is the unknown, the unexpected. So just like you do with hopefully teachers are great with kids with transition is clear expectations and repetition and referencing back. So a lot of us when we're stressed we shut down, like that part of our brain just goes boop.
That's why I don't function well at all. I'm just shut down.
Stop it. You are not.
So not
Anyways,
true.
okay.
And then what we find ourselves doing is talking a lot. So there's a lot of verbal that goes in one ear and out the
That
other.
makes sense.
So with your supporting people with transitions, which again is change, which means unknown, which means stress, is to be very clear on your expectations, be very honest about it, and have something. Don't just talk people to death. So when we've had transitions with staff, even try to apply for myself with, as we do our own
Mhm.
transitions in work, um, really be clear and write things down. And then you can revisit that if it's with staff or if it's with kids. We do that in classrooms. We should at least do that with our own staff with transitions. Like if it's a new program, that's what I've experienced. If it's a new program or if it's a new service, and validate that we don't have all the answers if we don't, but we're going to re-meet on this and just be honest and consistent and clear.
Well, I love that you talk about change and like how that creates, like an imbalance kind of like for people, you know what I mean? Navigating that change Because, well, why are you guys laughing
I
at
don't
me?
because I have an example of she does not like change.
Oh. Well, no. So this is, I think it has to do with this because like I think about how when districts get new leaders, right?
Mm.
And sometimes you're the new leader and you come in and you've got these great ideas that are good ideas and are going to make good change, but you could be met with some hardcore resistance. And it's not
Mhm.
always because people are cruel and unkind. It's because change is hard, right?
Yeah.
Even when it's a positive change. So I think that's important for leaders to keep in mind where you may be making what you see as a positive change, but just change, period, is
Mhm.
difficult, even if it's good change. Like we moved into a new house that is bigger and there's more space for us, but it wasn't fun for a long time because it's
No.
different,
Right.
right? It's just so that change is difficult to. So go ahead and shame me, Lindsay. Go
I
ahead.
wasn't going to shame you.
It's fine.
I was going to say when Emily had to move
I knew it was
offices,
going to be that
this
one.
was very hard for her. And we might have already talked about this
I don't
in
know.
one of our episodes, but Emily moved offices and she wasn't very happy about it, even though we talked about it for a long time. I'm just saying.
She writes her own narratives, everybody. There's two sides to every story.
Oh.
Lindsay's side, Emily's side, and Emily's side, that's the truth.
So we're going to
Oh,
pivot this
here
a
we
little
go.
bit. So think
Yes.
about teachers changing classrooms.
Right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good
yeah.
point.
Yep.
Mhm.
So
That
related,
happens a lot.
it happens a lot,
All the
and
time.
it's not like and my friends over the years in districts who have had to change the classrooms, and sometimes it's every single year depending on the role.
Mhm.
It
Uh-huh.
is not fun. They know why it's necessary, but it still is very
Activating,
disconcerting.
right?
And,
Yeah.
oh yeah, your stress response goes boop because why do I have to do this? I don't want to do this, and it's
Mhm.
different. And I know where my pens go here, but now it's going to be different here. And
So what
all
you're
the-
saying is there's a biological reason why I reacted the way I reacted.
yes, that's for a whole
Thank
nother
you.
episode.
Yes, no, I didn't say anything bad about it.
Well, but I
just
think that that's
said, like,
important too because sometimes there are changes that seem minor, like saying out loud that you're moving classrooms. That's easy for the leader to say,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Like you're going to change classrooms and it feels simple.
Mhm.
But then being cognizant of the magnitude of that change for the person receiving that information, you know what I mean? I think that's important to remember as well, that second perspective to it. Because again, in your brain as a leader, you know exactly why everything you're seeing all those moving pieces. We talk about that all the time
Mhm.
because we don't have all the information from some of the leaders that we work with because they're working with other people behind the scenes
Mhm.
and making decisions based on the knowledge that they have that we don't always have, right?
Yep.
So I think that that's important to keep in mind when you're thinking about the way people react because you could think that person's hard to work. That person's being difficult, right?
Yeah.
But like it's intense for them. And though you know what I
Mhm.
mean? It's
Yeah.
And that's change. That's the unknown. Your stress goes up.
uh-huh.
You go back to mode of operation. It could be very like because you're fearful and you're protective.
Yeah, that's
and
me.
I
Okay.
wasn't trying to say that.
It's fine.
But,
Call me out.
know,
Call me out. Diagnose me right here on the podcast.
Stop it.
Most viewed episode. Emily gets diagnosed. I think that you've done a lot of work to build a culture within the group that you work. So, what qualities do you think are most important for building a positive and supportive team culture?
Um, I think the first one, and it's oversaturated and buzzword, but it's true, is safety. And by safety, meaning that you create an environment where you build trust, as in, if it is a time for venting, what is said there stays there,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
You're always honest, validating concerns, and you can say, like, you're right, this sucks. I agree with you. I would feel the
Mhm.
same way. This sucks. I mean, which I've had many conversations about change, going back to the change thing. But as far as with building, God, I'm losing track of what the question was.
It's
Can you
okay.
cut that out? Oh my God.
No,
That's
we're
where I'm like, I
fine.
went on and boop, boop, boop.
That's
boop.
fine. We
That's okay.
love different tangents. Do you think the people listening to this, the 22 of them, do you think
We're up to 30 now.
Oh, okay. The 30 people listening to this, they love side roads.
Yeah.
Take us on a side quest. You don't even need to answer the question. Nobody else remembers what it is either. I mean, we are going to put it on the screen. like type it up. People will know that you didn't stay on topic. But other than that, it's not a
That
big
does
deal.
not
Yeah.
stress me out
Yeah, no big
whatsoever,
deal.
by the way.
No.
So bad. Um, so for building a positive culture, I think that, like I said before, the importance is safety. And why I say safety, that's where I got on my tangent.
Yeah,
Aha,
you're
now
fine.
I'm coming
You're
back.
good.
If you do not have that culture of safety, again, same with your staff, same with the classroom, then people are going to be fearful to contribute. People are going to be fearful to collaborate with each other because that's all about taking risks, right? So if
Hmm.
you're not going to throw out what you may deem as a stupid idea because you're worried about the
Yeah.
judgment that's going
Mhm.
to come or the critiques or that, oh, I'm smarter than that person because they asked a stupid question, all that kind of stuff. So, with that safety, it needs to be clear expectations. I'm all about clear
Yeah.
expectations type person.
Because
And
safety doesn't mean relaxed, like
no,
completely, you know what I mean? Like no
Mhm.
guardrails in place, no expectations.
correct. It's that you're honest with each other, you're non-judgmental. I about said something else, but you're non-judgmental where people can go out on a limb. So building that safe culture then builds trust because if you know you're no one's looking out to,
Hmm.
be attacking or critical,
Mhm.
then you are going to trust each other more. Then you are going to
Hmm.
contribute more, which allows for innovation, which allows for collaboration. And I think it's the most vital thing. I know that's only my
No.
bubble, but
Mm-mm.
if you don't have that, you're not going to have anything else. And it will be a miserable place to work. Staff wellness is also one of my bubbles that I work in. And recruitment and retention, neither one of them are going to happen if you don't have a
For
good
sure.
culture.
Mhm.
And I've been there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's
Mhm.
where you don't feel comfortable sharing your ideas, you don't feel comfortable, and then it just becomes like we talked about with Stacy, that it just becomes a box checking activity. I don't have a reason
Mhm.
to contribute more than what I need to contribute to check this box. Whereas, and I know I don't work under your department, but I think we've just done a good job in general of building that culture here.
Mhm.
I want to go out of my way to share an idea, or you know what I mean, because that support is there. I know I've had dumb ideas, quote unquote dumb ideas. Well, we all have, right? But there's somebody else who can take that nugget that you planted and build
And
it
build
into
off of it.
something. Yes.
Mhm.
Because I guess maybe there aren't dumb ideas. There are ideas that don't have momentum yet and
Mhm.
Or they're
need some
more
guidance.
It's like the
relevant
seed
to one.
planting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Very
Yeah.
good. Good
Yeah.
analogy. They're more relevant to, they may not be relevant, or you may think them dumb, but it's maybe relevant to some work someone else is doing.
Uh-huh.
Right.
So there's a connection and everything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, Rach, you kind of talked about this a little bit, but how do you encourage trust and openness among colleagues? Did you already talk about this?
I mean,
Oh, I skipped a question.
well,
That's I'm like,
Can
that's
we?
not the one I'm ready for.
Lindsay
Why
went
do we have
rogue and
5
Rachel is a
questions?
very hardcore bulleted teammate.
I'm like,
If it's not on the agenda,
her face was priceless. Like, what are you doing?
That's not the one I'm ready to
I
talk about.
just skipped a question, so we're just gonna roll with
Oh my
this. So
God.
sorry, now you have to like, but
That's
I think it
okay.
goes kind of with the last question. Do we have to stop recording
I'm
and start
worried.
over?
No, no, no. I was just
Are we
got
okay?
stressed for Rachel for a minute because I know what these moments do to Rachel.
Talking about change, we're just
Yeah.
gonna
That's okay.
is that okay?
I got you,
Are we
Rach.
good?
It's all good.
All right, let me just repeat the
It's okay.
question. How
The
do you
right one?
encourage
Oh, okay.
trust and openness among colleagues? Well, because I do
That's
think it kind
actually a
of
good
goes back.
segue from
It
the last
is.
question.
It
You're
is.
right.
Yeah, because you did
You
kind
did.
of
You
talk
talked a lot
about
about the
this.
importance of trust. How do you do it, Rach?
Yeah. How do you do it?
Don't be a
Got it.
Yeah.
unkind person.
Yes.
Yes, don't be an unkind
Be
person.
kind.
Yeah, it's the politically correct way to say that.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So how you build trust and openness, it's kind of like being a good person, really.
Hmm.
In that,
Mhm.
and that sounds so fluffy, glittery,
Uh-huh.
fluffy, which I am not that type of a person. So, but it's true. If you do what you say, don't just say something to make someone happy. Actually walk the walk of it, which
Mhm.
all good administrators know what to do. And that's the hard part, is when you actually have to put that in place. Um, I think one of the pitfalls in that goes to building trust, again, to that climate, but building trust in relationships is you can really tick people off if you're trying to be positive and toxic
Yes.
positivity and, oh, it's not that bad. And well, that's your judgment you're putting on that person of their perception if they're ready to or not. So I think the biggest importance I mentioned before is validate the concern, saying, I agree with you that that sucks. And then focusing on the positive, that goes back to change a little bit. But with trust is, God, it sounds all fluffy, but be honest and a genuine person.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Um, Own up to your mistakes right away as an administrator and leader. If you
Yeah.
make a mistake,
Yeah.
say, that's my bad. I should have handled it differently. This is what I would have done if I could, if I could redo it or relive it, and then we're moving on.
Mhm.
We're
Yeah.
Well,
not staying down in the rabbit hole. We're not in the dregs or anything like that. And I think what some people fall into, present company excluded, is the gossip part of it. That
Mhm.
is the easiest way to totally undermine trust in your staff, trust in your department, is gossip and bickering and things
Yeah.
like that.
mhm.
So
Well, we were just talking about this because sometimes we go in and we work with staff that's brand new to us. Like we've never worked with them ever. And we're always like, how do we build trust with people on a quick basis when you're coming in for any kind of like PD or you're going to lead something and they don't know you? And I think sometimes it's just being personable, like
Mhm.
letting them get to know you and who you are, but then also giving them the opportunity to teach you something about them, you know? Like
Mhm.
you get to know who they are as a person and you acknowledge them as a human.
and you guys do a great job of um, embodying this. Honestly, I've seen you guys in PDs. The more you know, the more you don't know.
Mhm.
So that
Mhm.
is a way to get no trust or
Yeah.
buy-in
Yeah.
immediately, is if you go in and act like the expert, or if someone, and I've had this in PDs or trainings where someone brings a good point, recognize that and say, oh, that's a great point. I
Yes.
never thought about that. Or
Mhm.
that's a much better way to, approach it or verse it, or however, whatever the certain example is. You've been in those presentations with staff where people act like the expertitis, and if you ask a question or counter what they say, and then they just get very angry and very
Yes.
prickly,
Yes.
and that's their own insecurities, and you can think back to that, but it totally destroys the credibility and totally
Yes.
destroys the
Mhm.
trust.
What advice, Rachel, would you give leaders who want to cultivate stronger relationships within their teams?
Okay, so try to be quick so we don't get yelled at,
You don't
right?
have to be quick.
So
We can cut some stuff, you guys.
It's
Stop
so fun.
it.
It's so fun to gang
It
up on her,
really is.
especially when we're on the other side of the
I
table, literally,
know. You guys are
Rachel
mean to
and
me.
Emily
I'm just gonna
versus
get up. You
Lindsay.
guys can just finish the recording on your own.
Nah, you're in control of the mouse. I can't do it. I can't see from here.
I don't know what to do. Okay.
Anyways, Rachel, how do you cultivate that?
Okay. Very common sense, but can easily be forgotten, right? So when you are wanting to have stronger relationships with your staff, within your teams, if there's a concern, validate it. Don't dismiss it. Don't fall into toxic positivity. And these are my lessons learned because I have made
Yeah.
mistakes on all these. Also, I had a great mentor years ago that I learned from in flipping the conversation from empowerment, from being told what to do. You'll have people, well, what do I do? Well,
Yes.
what do you think you need to? So
Mhm.
there is that learning to make the future leaders, as well as hopefully you won't have as many squeaky wheels. We all know what that's like. Listen to the feedback, listen to their feedback with clear understanding that you may not do what they're saying, but you are listening to them. Because again, like you
Mhm.
mentioned before, we're
Mhm.
not privy, staff are not privy, we are not privy to everything
Yeah.
our boss has to
Right.
deal with. So be open to listen with no, I'm going to do what you say, to be a people pleaser. Obviously, to be honest, and in those crucial conversations, and when the temperature is really, really high, to lower that temperature. I try, again, learned this from a mentor years ago.
Do you tickle them?
No, that might be inappropriate.
Okay. Yeah. Don't tickle people.
Yeah, that go for it.
No,
But
no,
no,
it's okay.
that's not my way to do
I'm
things.
coming for you.
But when you're having those difficult conversations and when the temperature is high, I try to remind myself of three things. Is it relevant or needed to what I'm going to say? Is it kind? And is it true? And if what I want to say back, if it doesn't meet all of those, but when the temperature is very high,
yes, because you just want
okay,
to come back. Yeah.
if it's not kind, if it's not relevant, if it's not true, how am I still going to have that conversation, but keeping those things in mind? Because it's really easy, like to have a knee jerk reaction when the temperature's high,
Yeah.
when you're stressed. But consistency and clarity are key, because you are going to destroy relationships if one person's allowed to do something one time and another's not. So that's
Yeah.
super, super important. And just like you said before, Lindsay, just be personable, be honest and open, and be a good person.
Yeah. Rachel's not this fluffy in real life.
I am not.
Yes, you are.
I am so not.
This is such a good joke. I say it before every joke I tell.
Just like I say, all right.
All right.
All right.
All right. I
right,
want
all
you
right.
guys, I'm telling both of you this joke, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Why do elephants paint their toenails red?
Why?
So they can hide in cherry trees. Have you ever seen an elephant in a cherry tree?
No.
Then it must work really well.
I was like, what the heck is she talking about?
It must work if you've never seen them in the cherry trees.